Okay, good morning. Today,
صباح الخير دكتور.
صباح الخير رفيق. Today we have ready to read now, the book ready to read now, chapter 4. Chapter 4. Now open your books, page 71. Read quickly, skimming and scanning. You remember we talked about skimming and scanning last time? Now, what do we mean by when we read for skimming? What are we looking for?
Can I
For what?
skim to find a particular list of information?
This is scanning. Skimming, reading it quickly. Why? Skimming, reading quickly to look for what? The main idea. مش هيك حكينا؟
General idea.
Skimming معناته reading quickly to look for the main idea. Scanning برضه reading quickly to do ايش؟
For more detailed information.
For specific information. إذن we scan, for example, we scan a passage to ايش؟ To look for specific details. We skim the passage for looking for what? For the main idea. Okay, now look at the picture here quickly in front of you. What is the topic of the picture here? What is the topic? Yasif?
Fun real. Sorry, weeding. Old weeding.
Wedding. In the picture we have people. Okay. They are what? Some people. What kind of people do we have here? What kind of people do we have here?
I think sad people or happy people, because the flowers in their hands.
يعني happy people. في عندنا هنا في عندنا men, women and what? Children. And then we have men, women and children. So now look quickly at the picture again. Now this, look for details here. إذن طبعا number one قلنا look quickly at the painting. What is the topic? Yeah, this is skimming. Okay, skimming. We look at what? At the picture quickly. Now we'll do scanning. Now we'll look for details. Which person is holding an umbrella? This is what these are details. Which person is holding the umbrella?
The seventh man.
Men or woman? Man or woman? Umbrella.
Woman, because she's wearing a dress.
مين اللي رقمها 99 بالأخير؟
فايزة دكتور.
فايزة. اسمك طيب ما أقدرش أنت تريد الرقم. إذا هنا في عنا who or which person is holding an umbrella؟ إذا بنقول إيش؟ The woman. The woman. Which woman? في عنا more than a woman.
The seventh.
Which woman? The third one from ايش? From the back of the line. I have specific details. Then which woman? A woman is holding umbrella. Which woman? The woman, or the third woman what? Or the woman in the what? In the last what? 3 women. The first woman. And we can, for example, count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 women. The 7th woman in the line. How many people are carrying flowers? How many people are carrying flowers?
7.
7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 or 7? I think we have six people. إذن طبعا the question number 1 we look at the picture quickly to look for the main idea. بينما question 2 and 3 we read or we look at the picture quickly to look for what? For details or for specific information. So when you look quickly at the picture just to find the topic, you skimmed it. Then when you read a passage or a picture quickly here, you skim it. Yani you look for main idea. You did not look for details and not look for specific information, but you try to get a general idea of what happening, what painting was about. إذا هنا skimming يعني finding the main idea, okay, of the paragraph. When you look quickly at it to locate specific details, then when we read it quickly for specific details, then we scan it. We scan it. إذا في عندنا skimming and scanning are two skills that you can use to become what? A better reader. A better reader. إذا في عندنا هنا two skills, reading skills. Skimming or scanning, okay? طيب. Now sharpen your reading skills. Skimming and scanning. Good readers read at different speeds for different purposes. إذن good readers read what? Different speeds for different purposes. Sometimes it's important to read slowly and carefully. Then sometimes it is important to read slowly and carefully. Why or when? When you are reading a textbook to prepare for a test. Then when you prepare for a test or an exam, you read what? Slowly and carefully. Other times, you can read much more quickly. Sometimes what you read what more quickly. When you only want to find out what something is about, اللي هو اللي قلنا عنها المين idea أو general topic. هنا, in this case, we can see we are skimming the passage to look for the main idea. إذا بنسميها this is skimming. You can also read very quickly. Why? When you are looking for a specific piece of information in reading. This is called scanning. Either skimming and scanning are two reading skills. Skimming means reading quickly for main idea, with scanning برضو reading quickly but for specific details. Okay. So these two skills are very important what in reading, and you need them what to read fast. Now let's talk about skimming in more details. Skimming is a way to read quickly in order to discover the general idea of a text. Then skimming, reading quickly to look for the main idea of the text. When you skim, you do not read everywhere. In skimming, we don't read everywhere. You do not stop to look up words you do not know in a dictionary. We are not what our goal not to stop and look for the meaning of words in the dictionary. Skimming is a good technique to use. Skimming is a good technique to use when you have lots of material to read in a short amount of time. When you have a lot of material to read in a short period of time, skim is a good method. The purpose of skimming is not to understand or remember anything you read. The purpose is not to understand or remember anything. Instead, it is to get the general idea of what the passage is about. Skimming, who are getting general idea of what the passage is about. Now, when you want to skim, number one, read the first few sentences. You can often begin to get general idea about the passage right from the start. Then, when you skim a passage, read the first few sentences. Another thing, read the last few sentences. These sentences often summarize information in the passage. Then, When we skim, we look at the first few sentences, then we look at the last sentences, because these sentences summarize the text. The third one is to look for keywords. Keywords become repeated in the text. And these repeated words will give you a clue about the topic. Now, let's practice this kind of skill. Now read the list of newspaper headlines. Then skim the following newspaper articles from the arts and entertainment section of the newspaper. Try to find the general topic of each article. Then match the article with the appropriate headline. Write correct headline on the line provided. Okay, now. طبعا before we read اطلعوا عليها بسرعه شوفوا ايش المين ايديا او الجنرال توبيك. احنا قلنا skimming خلينا read the first few sentences. هنشوف. Now, what can you get from the first sentence in the paragraph? Who would like to read it? Who would like to read the first paragraph? Salsabil?
Yes. It's a sad weekend for local music lovers. Stan's music shop will close its doors promptly at 6 p.m. Saturday night. Those who spent their Saturday afternoons looking through his collection of hard-to-find records, tabs, and CDs will miss the blisters of his popular shop. Owner Stan Smith is not upset. He said that after 30 years, it was time to say goodbye. Times are different now, he said. I loved my business and I made a good living with it. But the music business has changed and I am ready for a change too.
طب هنشوف الفيرست sentence. What do we have in the first sentence? It is sad weekend for local music lovers. شو الكي وورد هنا in this sentence? What's the key word in this sentence? It is a sad weekend for local music lovers.
I think music lovers.
No. فينا something more important. Safe?
It's a keyword. It's in the third word. It is a sad.
Sad, yes. طب هنا بنشوف نطلع على التايتلز تبع الهيدلاينز تبعت النيوز بيبر. Where can we find sad here?
A sad goodbye.
A sad goodbye. إذا شو هنا المين idea أو الجنرال توبيك of the paragraph?
A sad goodbye.
A sad goodbye. إذا هنا في عندنا keyword بالفيرست sentence لي sad. And we have this keyword when بالnewspaper headings. Okay. So why is it a sad weekend for music lovers? Why? Because Stan's music shop will close its doors permanently at 6 p.m. There is reason, no. Stan's music shop will close its doors permanently and forever at 6 p.m. Saturday night. Those who spend their Saturday afternoons looking through his collection of hard-to-find records, tapes, and CDs will miss the pleasure of his popular shop. Even those people who spend their Saturday afternoon looking through his collection of hard-to-find records, records, music records, tapes, and CDs will miss the pleasure of his popular shop. يعني لأنه the popular shop is going to close. Okay, is going to close. Owner Stan Smith is not upset. Then the owner of the shop is not upset. يعني is not what? Uncomfortable. يعني he is comfortable. He said that after 30 years, it was time to say goodbye. Then after 30 years of opening his shop, music shop, he said that it was time to say goodbye and to leave and close the place. Times are different now. What did he say? And the times is not like before, they are different. I loved my business. He said, I love my business and I made a good living with it. Then he loved the business and made good living. But the music business has changed and I'm ready for a change too. Then why did he close his shop? Because the music business has changed. And in this case also, Stan also is going to change. Okay. إذن هنا general topic of this paragraph قلنا عنها إيش؟ A sad goodbye. Okay. Paragraph 2. Would like to read paragraph 2. Ali? Yes, Ali?
Maybe you have noticed that film makers are again making movies that whole family can enjoy. After several years of too many movies that we are not appropriate for younger children and were perhaps offensive to adults. Family entertainment is becoming popular again. Movies with lots of sex and violence are being replaced with drama, adventures, and human interest stories. A large percentage of the new movies released in the last 6 months are appropriate for the whole family, said the Royal Theatre owner, Barbara Atkins. We are seeing a huge increase in the number of families coming to see shows, and I think this is a good thing.
طيب سؤال هنا. What is the repeated words here in this paragraph? What is repeated in this paragraph? I see it. What is repeated here?
It's movies the whole family. Movies the line number 3.
Yes. إذا هنا في عندنا repeated word اللي هي إيش؟ movie. إذا نعتبرها إيش الكي word. إذا which newspaper heading is here appropriate?
Family movies are back.
Yes. طبعا هون الهيدنج فيها movie برضه. إذا الموفي هنا repeated معناته إيش؟ This is the general topic of the paragraph. The general topic, family movie or movies are back. Now, maybe you have noticed that filmmakers are again making movies the whole family can enjoy. Then, the filmmakers are working on what? On making movies for the whole family to enjoy. After many years of too many movies that were not appropriate, even they can movies not appropriate for younger children, كان نفس الوقت offensive to others. What do you mean by offensive? Offensive? يعني هنا offensive means
دكتور offensive attack on.
Offensive يعني they are what? Not good to adults.
Aggressive.
ممكن aggressive يكون أو
دكتور زي الهجومي مثلا نوعا ما.
يعني ممكن يكون hurting مثلا hurting adults or
أو يؤذي أحد أكيد.
Yes. Then we can say here after many years of a lot of movies كانت were not appropriate for young children and adults. ما family entertainment is become popular again. هنا family entertainment مقصود فيها اللي the things that make family ish, things that enjoy families. Okay. Now, movies with lots of sex and violence are being replaced with drama, adventure, and human interest stories. On old movies اللي كانوا inappropriate, they were replaced by drama, adventure, and human interest stories. These are what other types of movies. A large percentage of the new movies released in the last 6 months are appropriate for the whole family. Then, a big number of movies that were showed in the last 6 years are appropriate for the whole family, so can children or adults. Said the Royal Theatre owner, Barbara Atkins. Okay. We are seeing a huge increase in the number of families coming to see shows. And this is what Barbara said. And they are what? Seeing people with big numbers coming to watch these shows. And this is what a good thing as she thought. Yes. Next paragraph. Hamad.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
It's unusual for art galleries to use the summer months to invite younger and unknown artists to exhibit their work. It's an opportunity for these artists to go there or known, and it's an opportunity for buyers to see who and what is the new. The Richard Gallery on South Street and here Beacon Gallery on Maple Street both have shows this month for new artists. The Richard Gallery specializes in photography, but this summer it will also have several new pieces of sculpture on display. The Beacon Gallery will show oil paintings and watercolor.
Thank you.
Doctor, the title, a new artist show their work.
A new artist. New artists show their works.
Where repeat galleries أو gallery.
Yes.
Yes.
إذا في عندنا repeated word له gallery. Yes.
Gallery. Yes.
Gallery هون يعني عبارة عن إيش؟ عن show. For arts. Yes.
Yes.
Then it's not unusual for art galleries to use the summer months to invite younger and unknown artists to exhibit their works. هنا, this is what usual, that art galleries ask people to invite younger or unknown artists to exhibit. To exhibit here to means يعني to display their works. لو بسموهم إيش؟ الارtwork. It is an opportunity for these artists to get their work known. Then this is a good opportunity for those people to make their work known, and it is an opportunity for buyers to see who and what is new, or buyers طبعا of these works. It is an opportunity for those buyers to see what is new here in the gallery. The Richards Gallery on South Street, this is the name of the gallery, Richards Gallery on South Street, and the Beacon Gallery on Maple Street. These are two galleries here. Both have shows this month for new artists. Then these two galleries are displaying shows for new artists. The Richards Gallery specializes in photography. Even the first gallery displays photography. But this summer, it will also have several new pieces of sculpture and display. In addition to photography, also they have new pieces of sculpture. What do you mean by sculpture here? Do you mean by sculpture? Yes? Hamad? What do you mean by sculpture?
سوري بس انا رافع ايدي وناسي رافع.
Yes. What do you mean by sculpture? طبعا الارتست make sculptures. ممكن they make sculptures from stones. They carve or they cut the stone to make what sculptures. Oh, they make sculptures by using clay, for example. Okay. طبعا الفيرست gallery هو ريتشاردز gallery shows photography and also new piece of sculpture and display on display. The second gallery اللي هو Beacon Gallery will show oil paintings made in oil and watercolors. إذا oil and watercolors.
دكتور بس بسألك عن شغلة.
Yes.
هسه هون بيكون جاليري معناتها هسه بيكون معناتها منارة.
بيكون هنا the name اسم.
يعني اسم الصالة صح؟
اسم
أو
الجاليري.
اسم العرض.
Yes.
يس.
زي ريتشارد وهاي بيكون. والله اسماء اشخاص يعني names of people. Okay.
أوكي.
Yes. Next paragraph. Yes. Would like read سلسبيل.
Yes, the Erie and Andresa Menidis Quintet is establishing itself as one of the most impressive music groups around. This weekend, we won't have to travel far to enjoy the beat of these internationally famous Brazilian artists as they make a rare appearance as part of the concert in the Courtyard series. ايش هاي الدكتورة اللي بعدها؟
Guitarist.
Guitarist Erie has received the Sharp Award, a Brazilian award that is like the Grammy Award.
Grammy Award, yes.
Grammy Award for Best Arranger and Producer. He is known for his great music with the great heart. Critics say lead singer Andresa's voice is so rich that he transports listeners to Brazil. This is your chance to hear wonderful music by some of Brazil's best musicians.
Thank you. The short general topic of this paragraph, yes, Sabir. And if you look at the first sentence, what keywords or clue words we can find here?
A night to Brazilian music.
إذن شو الكلو word here أو الكلو؟
Music.
Music. إذن شو اللي هون الهيدنج تبع newspaper which has a music? Which one?
A night of Brazilian music.
إذن الجنرال topic here of this paragraph إيش؟ Brazilian. A night of Brazilian music. Okay. Then the Erie and Andresa Mendes Quintet establishing itself as one of the most impressive music group around. طبعا هنا Erie وأندريزا مندس عبارة عن music groups. They are establishing themselves as one of the most impressive music groups around. The most attractive هنا music groups around. This weekend, you won't have to travel far to enjoy the beat of these internationally famous Brazilian artists. Even this weekend, you cannot or you don't have to travel for long distances to enjoy the music of of those people or these groups. Why? Because they make a rare appearance as part of the concert in the Courtyard series. Even because they make a rare appearance as part of the concert in the Courtyard series. Guitarist Ari, طبعا guitarist to play guitar, Ari, has received the Sharp Award. Even this person, لو Ari, got what we call Sharp Award. What do you mean by award? What do you mean by award?
Prize.
Prize, yeah. Prize, yes. Then what is this award? It's a Brazilian award that is like the Grammy Award. Then it's a kind of award given to artists, like for example, musicians. So this is like what we call the Grammy Award. And why is this award given to people? For their best arranger and producer. The best arranger or producer of these musics is given what an award. He is known for his great music with a great heart. Then this person is known for his great music, good music with a great heart. Critics say lead singer Andre's voice is so rich that he transports listeners to Brazil. Even critics, people who criticize, they say that this person, the singer Andres, they are talking about his voice. They said that his voice is what's so rich that he transports listeners to Brazil. Instead of going to Brazil, the voice of the singer can take you to Brazil, although you are in your place. So this is your chance to hear wonderful music by some of the Brazil's best musicians. Even this is a chance for you to enjoy Brazilian music by Brazilian best musicians. Okay. Next paragraph. Ali?
It wasn't that long ago that you had to go to Mexico, or at least far from this area if you wanted a good taco, one of those delicious corn tortillas that come wrapped around spicy flavor-filled mixtures of meat, fish, herbs, and vegetables. As of yesterday, we can appreciate tacos and many other Mexican treats right here in our own backyard. If yesterday's grand opening is any sign of the quality of the food that will be offered at the Cozumel Cafe, we can look forward to some pretty terrific Mexican food even when it is snowing outside. The ingredients we are all fresh as they could be, and all the dishes I tried were carefully prepared and beautifully presented. The food, the decor, and the music will make you forget you are not in Mexico, almost.
Thank you. شو عندنا the clues in this paragraph that shows us or that give us the general topic?
Mexico.
Mexico what? What is the clues in this paragraph? And what does the paragraph talk about? Ali.
Taco.
What is taco? Is it a car?
It's food.
Doctor.
Food. Good. Food. Food. It talks about food. So what is the general topic here in this of this paragraph?
Dining Mexican style.
And then dining Mexican style. Yes, eating Mexican food. Okay. So it wasn't that long ago that you had to go to Mexico or at least far from this area if you wanted good taco. You know taco? You know taco?
It's a kind of food.
Yes, it's a kind of what Mexican food.
It is
So-
part of the Mexican cuisine.
Cuisine, yes, cuisine. طبعا taco هي one of the most delicious corn tortillas. عبارة عن ايش؟ corn tortillas that come wrapped around spicy. بتكون wrapped around spicy herbs, spicy flavor filled mixture. We're going to mixtures here with a flavor around what? إذن عبارة عن corn tortillas wrapped around spicy flavor filled mixtures of meat, fish, herbs and vegetables. إذن شو التاكوز؟ عبارة عن corn tortillas that come wrapped around spicy flavored filled mixture of meat, fish, herbs and what? Vegetables. As of yesterday and since yesterday, we can appreciate tacos and many other Mexican treats right here in our own backyard. Then they can enjoy tacos in their what? لو بسموها and other Mexican treats in their own backyard. If yesterday grand opening is any sign of the quality of the food that will be offered at the Cozumel Cafe, you can look forward to some pretty terrific Mexican food even when it is snowing outside. Then, here talks about yesterday grand opening, about opening of what we call food or dining. So if yesterday grand opening, big opening, إذا كانت sign of quality of the food that will be offered at this cafe, then he said they can look forward to some pretty terrific Mexican food, some good, delicious Mexican food, even when it is snowing outside. The ingredients were all as fresh as they could be. The ingredients of this Mexican food are what? Are fresh. And all the dishes I tried were carefully prepared. Even the dishes that this person tried were carefully prepared and beautifully presented. The food, the decor, and the music will make you forget you are not in the Mexican almost. Even here, for food, or decor, or music will make you forget you are not in Mexico. يعني make you remember that you are what? In Mexico. Okay. إذا لاحظنا هنا بالfive paragraphs شو عملنا؟ We made ايش؟ we skimmed these paragraphs. شو يعني skimmed؟ We look for ايش؟ For general topic of these paragraphs. كيف عرفنا general topic؟ من ايش؟ من الكلوز او الكيوردز in the paragraphs. إذا بنعتبرها هي عبارة عن ايش؟ عن skimming. This is what a reading skill. Okay. إذا when I say skim the paragraph or the passage, then you should know that you should look for the general topic of the what? Of the passage or the paragraph. The second skill,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
What's the difference between the skimming and the main idea of the passage?
نفس الشيء.
نفس الشيء.
نفس الشيء, yes.
شكرا.
يعني لما اقول لك what's the main idea؟ طبعا شو بنستخدم skill skimming. Skimming يعني reading quickly for the main idea. يعني لما نقول general topic يعني main idea نفس الشيء. Okay.
يعني دكتور احنا قاعدين بنعيد نفس الكلام صح؟
لا احنا بنشوف شو التوبك بكل باراجراف، شو التوبك عليه تحكي يعني. What is talking about. Okay.
اوكي شكرا.
Okay. Now ننتقل للسكند سكيل اللي هي scanning. شو يعني scanning؟ Looking for a specific information. إذا scanning is another way to read quickly. برضو عندنا طبعا بيشتركوا skimming و scanning reading quickly، بس الهدف بيختلفوا اثنين. الأولى skimming looking for general topic أو main idea. Scanning looking for a specific details أو information. So scanning is another way to read quickly, but it is different from skimming. It is different from skimming. How is it different? بنقول when you scan you read it quickly. يعني زي هذا skimming, but هنا البيربس بيختلف. الجول لو ايش؟ Find specific information. بينما skimming we read quickly ايش؟ to look for the main idea. بس هذا الفرق بيناتهم. To scan you move your eyes quickly. نفس الشيء في عندنا ايش reading quickly. You move your eyes quickly across the text. ليش؟ To look for specific details. إذا you do not have to read every word. يعني مش شرط to read every word. Okay. To scan effectively you need to do several things. خلينا نشوف things that you should do to scan effectively. Number one, know the specific information you are looking for. يعني طبعا بيكون عليها اسئله هاي الباسج بدك تشوف شو specific information. مثلا does the passage ask a question about a name ولا about a date ولا about a time or a keyword. اذا if the passage talks or asks about date then you look for dates. إذا look for the question in the passage is about time you look for a time. بس تطلع التايم بالمسج. اوكي هاي الفيرست ستيب. السكند ستيب ignore the words and information that aren't important for your purpose. يعني any unimportant words ايش should be neglected. يعني don't look at them. The last step is move your eyes rapidly across the text until you find the information and then stop reading. اذا هنا طبعا في عندنا السؤال بكون بالقطعه بتقرا بسرعه بتدور على وين الموجود الاجابه بعدين هون بتوقف مشان ايش to look for what to find out the answer. طيب خلينا نشوف هون عندنا في عندنا scanning exercise. Scan the following table and add to answer the questions on the next page. وطبعا في بالسكند بيج عندنا اللي هو page 76 في عندنا questions. خلينا نشوف question number 1. محمد.
Yes, doctor. What is the price per person for this trip?
وانا شو بدنا ليش بدنا ندور احنا هنا هسه؟ ها؟
ندور على شو اسمه البرايس.
برايس شو يعني برايس فيها ماني مظبوط؟
Yes, yes.
برايس. Which one؟
دكتور موجود 2079.
كويس إذا شايفين ما قرأنا كل احنا الادز طلعنا وين النمبر؟ لأنه في عندنا ماني على طول طلعنا نمبر طلعنا 2079. اوكي. Next. علي.
How long is the trip?
نشوف هنا اللونج. هنا لو بنقول لونج what are you looking for in the passage here or the paragraph?
Duration of time.
How long?
9 days.
Yes, time عندنا. Yes.
Time or duration of
Yes.
time.
شو التايم هون يا علي؟
9 days.
أيوة. 8 nights مظبوط. إذا 9 days 8 nights. نفس الشيء ما قرانا كل الآيات. أوكي. Number 3. Number 3. Celine.
What
Yes.
is the name of the hotel in Teenager?
إذا هنا what should you look for here?
The name of the hotel?
Name, yes.
Tour Oxtec, Morocco.
Then what is the name of the hotel? Name of the hotel.
Intercontinental Hotel.
إذا في عندنا هنا we are talking about إيش؟ hotel. إذا what's the name of the hotel?
What?
Intercontinental Hotel. Yes. طيب. The next one. Safe.
What number would you call to make a reservation for this trip?
إذا هنا شو what are you looking for here?
For a number.
Phone number. بس على phone number. Yes.
800-555-5677.
Okay, good. Next. Muhammad.
Yes, doctor. How would you travel between cities? Doctor, on deluxe air conditioned bus transportation between cities.
مظبوط. إذا هنا في عندنا deluxe air conditioned bus transportation. إذا هون نحكي إيش؟ نطلع transportation. أوكي.
Yes.
لاحظت هون scanning شو عملنا؟ We did not read the whole the whole ad. شو عملنا؟ احنا عملنا reading quickly. وين عيوننا بتطلع وين؟ على الانسر. مثلا عندنا في تايم نطلع على التايم. في عندنا مثلا people نطلع على البيبل. اللونج نطلع نايتس ودايز. النيم نطلع على النيم وذاته. اوكي اذا we don't read everywhere here. هذا ايش؟ سكاننج. اوكي طبعا هذا بنطبق لما تيجيك ريدنج مثلا بالامتحان او تقرا ريدنج بدك تعمل نفس الشيء. اوكي طيب. Now exercise B. Scan the following listing of toll-free numbers on the internet and write the number you want call for each of the following. Okay, number 1. Safe?
O'Hare Airport, 18002310 GAN.
Logan, yes. إذا 1-823 Logan. Yes. O'Hare. شايفين عندنا قائمة طويلة بس ما طلعنا عليها كلها. وين رحنا نركض؟ على ايش؟ O'Hare بس. اوكي. Next. محمد.
Yes, Doctor. Office the Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation. Doctor 1888-283-3757.
Good. Yes. Next. Ali.
Social Security Administration. 1-800-772-12.
Yes. Good. Next. دعاء.
United States Postal Service.
ارفع صوتك يا دعاء.
United States Postal Service 1-800-275-8777.
Okay, good. Thank you. Next. عطاف.
Food stamps 1-800-645-8333.
Thank you. Next. سلسبيل.
Federal Aviation Administration Consumer Complaints 1-800-255-1111 Safety Hotline.
Thank you. Next.
Welcome.
Next. Hamad.
United States Small Business Administration. 1-800-827-5722.
Okay. Next. Saif.
Convention for the Blind 1-800-392-6450.
Okay. Next. Thank you. Next. Salsabil.
Yes. Department of Veterans Services 1-888-844-2838.
Yeah, thank you. Manar.
شوي دكتور.
Manar.
Department of Public Safety 1-800-223-0933.
Thank you. Next. Hamad.
Internal Revenue Service 1-800-829-1040.
Thank you. لاحظنا هنا شو عملنا؟ سكاننج. شو يعني سكاننج؟ قلنا قبل شويه انه reading quickly for ايش؟ for specific details. يعني تجيك مثلا reading passage بقول لك شو what's the main idea. شو بدك تعمل هنا؟ read it quickly looking ايش for the main idea. في عندنا clues بكون. طبعا الباسج بكون عليها ايش؟ questions. مثلا بقول لك what does or when did this happen? When did this happen? هنا this is تعمل scanning هنا. You read it quickly لا لكن ايش؟ For specific information. يعني you don't read every word in the passage. بس بتطلع وين؟ مثلا time إذا في time طلع التايم بالباسج. إذا بتحكي مثلا عن place look for the place in the passage. إذا بتحكي عن thing you look for the thing. إذا skimming وscanning في عندنا two reading skills بيشتركوا الثنتين reading quickly بس الهدف بيختلف. Skimming for main idea أو general topic بينما scanning for ايش؟ looking for specific information. اوكي. برضه في عندنا exercise C. Scan the following graph to answer these questions. نفس الشيء في عندنا scanning. Number 1. علي.
Which winter season had the most total snowfall? 1995 1996.
ومن كيف نعرف هنا؟
من خلال الدايجرام.
دايجرام في عندنا هنا ايش؟ The most total يعني اطول شيء. اوكي؟ اذا شو هي؟ 1995 1996. شايفين ما طلعناش على الاذر كولمز هي بس على ايش؟ The longest or the highest. Okay. Next. Safe.
Which winter season had the least total snowfall? 998 to 999.
مظبوط. إذا 1998 to 1999. Good. Next. محمد.
How many inches of snow fell in the 2000 and 2001 winter season? دكتور 40.
40 inches مظبوط. إذا 40.
Yes.
يعني عندنا هنا له 2000 to 2001 لو طلع عليها 40 هنا 40 inches. Yes. Next. Next. Safe.
How many inches of snow fell?
Number four. Yeah, safe.
Number 4, sorry. In which two winter seasons was the total snowfall almost the same? 1998 to 1999. The second snowfall is 2001 to 2002.
Good. إذا هنا snowfall كان the same when 1998 1999 to 2001 2002. Yes. Good. Next. Ali.
Did more snow fall in the winter season of 2001 2002 or in the winter season or of 1997 1998? Yeah, the second one is more.
Which one?
1997. 1997 1998.
1997 1998. Yes. Good. إذا كل ما ضل تمارين إيش عندنا؟ عملنا scanning. في عندنا برضه another exercise. Scan the following pages to find the specific information you need to answer these questions. أنا هنا we should read this passage. Okay. خلينا نشوف بالنسبة نشوف الباسج شو المين ايديا أو general topic of this passage. احنا قلنا في عندنا clues. What's the clue here in this passage? شو قلنا أول شيء بنطلع عليه ككلو؟ ها؟ Before we read طبعا. Before we read the passage.
Title.
Title. Good. إذا طلع التايتل. هل التايتل does the title tell us something about the topic of this passage؟ في عندنا the Lewis and the Clark expedition. شو بنقدر نستشف من العنوان؟ إنه the passage is going to talk about what؟
The Lewis.
ها؟ Expedition. إذا this passage is going to talk about what? Expedition. أنا بشكل عام expedition, but we don't know what expedition. فصار عندنا ايش؟ idea انه this passage is going to talk about expedition. Now let's read the first paragraph. Would like to read number 1? Safe?
One of the most famous journeys of exploration in American history was the Lewis and Clark expedition of 1804-06. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark led a group of explorers across the west from St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean. At that time, most Americans of European descent lived east of the Mississippi River. The West was settled by Native Americans and was mostly unexplored by the European Americans who had established the United States a few decades earlier. U.S. President Thomas Jefferson organized the expedition in order to get more information about the unknown territories and to inspire others to travel there. President Jefferson instructed Lewis and Clark to study the Native American tribes and collect information about the plant and animal life of the West.
Thank you. Even one of the most famous journeys of exploration in American history was the Lewis and Clark expedition. إذا هنا فهمنا شو expedition, about what expedition? ها؟ طبعا the first sentence نقدر نعرف expedition about what أو expedition of what؟ ها؟ لو exploration. شو exploration؟ What do you mean by exploration?
اكتشاف.
Yes, discovery and discover. Yes. إذا هنا one of the most famous journeys of exploration in American history was the Lewis and the Clark expedition of 1804 to 1806. Okay. And this is the most famous journey of exploration.
دكتور, the Native Americans هم نفسهم the Red Indians.
بالضبط. Yes. Yes. طبعا Meriwether Lewis, طبعا this is his name, and William Clark led a group of explorers across the west from St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean. And this is what the journey that started to discover or explore American history. Then this journey led by a group of explorers طبعا from the west, across the west from St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean. At that time, most Americans of European descent lived east of the Mississippi River. إذن تعرف إنه أمريكان في عندنا immigrants من Europe, والأمريكان of European descent اللي who came from Europe, they lived what in the east of Mississippi River. طبعا هون الاكتشاف بده يكون الويست. And those immigrants or Americans of Europe, Americans of European descent lived in the Mississippi River to the east. The West was settled by Native Americans and was mostly unexplored by the European Americans. Even the West was inhabited by Native Americans, هم Red Indians. وكان unexplored, يعني undiscovered by the European Americans. ومين هم European Americans? Who established the United States a few decades later. طبعا US President called Thomas Jefferson arranged the expedition in order to have more information about the unknown places and to encourage others to travel to these places. Then US President Jefferson made an expedition to what? To have more information about unknown places in the United States. So President Jefferson asked Lewis and Clark to study the Native American tribes. Yani this journey or this exploration was intended to study the Native American tribes and also collect information about the plant and animal life of the West. Then the objective or the goal of this expedition is to study the Native American tribes, Red Indians, and to collect information about the plants and animals life in the West. The West camp was undiscovered at that time. Okay. The next paragraph. Next paragraph. Yes. Safe.
In 1084, Lewis and Clark began their journey with about 40 young men. They traveled by boat and occasionally by horse along the Missouri and Columbia rivers. Later, they were joined by a Native American woman named Sacagawea. She assisted the expedition by interpreting Native American language and helping Lewis and Clark to develop a friendly relation with different tribes. During the most of the journey, Lewis and Clark were able to deal with the local Native Americans in a friendly manner. One of the greatest dangers they faced was grizzly bears in the northern mountains, and some of the men were injured in bear attacks. Finally, the group reached the Pacific Ocean, then returned to St. Louis. Amazingly, during the 3-year journey, only one man died of a ruptured appendix.
Good, thank you. Then in 1804, all two people, Lewis and Clark, started their journey with 40 young men. And they had 40 men with them. They traveled by boat. Then they used the boat, and sometimes they use horse along the Missouri and Columbia rivers. Many rivers there. Later, they were joined by a Native American woman. Then after that, an American, Native American اللي يسموها Red Indian woman, اسمها Sacagawea, joined them. Why did she join them? To interpret the Native American languages. يعني زي تكون translator. To talk with the Native Americans and with Lewis and Clark to translate what they talk or what they say. Then she helped the Sacagawea, the expedition, by interpreting Native American languages, and at the same time helping Lewis and Clark to have or to make friendly relations with different people, different tribes in that area. During most of the journey, Lewis and Clark were able to deal with local Native Americans in a friendly manner. And then Lewis and Clark were able to deal friendly with with Red Indians. One of the most dangers they face grizzly bears. What do you mean by bears?
Animal,
yes. The most dangerous problem كانت ايش؟ grizzly bears. And some of the men in the journey or the expedition were injured. Why? Because the bears attacked them. So they were injured. Finally, the group reached the Pacific Ocean. And after time, the group reached the Pacific Ocean. After that, they returned to St. Louis. Interestingly, during the 3-year journey, the journey took 3 years, only one man died in this journey. I don't know what was the cause of his death? Ruptured appendix. Ruptured appendix. Okay. Any question about this passage so far? Any question? Then we stop here today and we'll continue next week. Okay. You have any question?
لا دكتور يعطيك العافية.
Okay.